Welcome to the deep dive. Planning a trip, maybe you want to get your English sounding a bit more confident for it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're getting into today.
We've got some really great source material here.
Yeah.
There's this fun conversation between a couple getting ready for a road trip.
And language takeaways from that, some tips on, putting phrases together.
Right, plus fluency boosters,
Yeah.
little tricks to sound more natural, and even specific stuff for like hotel check-ins and just general travel chat.
Yeah, the main goal here, our mission, if you like, is to give you some really practical English for when you travel, just to make things go a bit smoother, maybe more fun.
And we'll touch on some interesting little quirks in everyday language, too.
Absolutely. So whether you travel all the time or this is maybe your first big trip abroad, hopefully there's something useful here for you.
Okay, let's dive in then. So the core piece of material is this dialogue, right? Husband and wife getting ready for a trip.
Yeah, you can almost feel that pre-trip buzz, can't you?
Totally. And they use some classic phrases like, the car is packed.
Which just means, everything's loaded up, ready to go. Simple as that.
Then they mention munchies.
Yes, the essential road trip snacks. Instantly know what that means.
And the practical things too, like music and the maps in the car.
Hmm.
Followed by that really crucial question, did you fill up the tank?
Oh, definitely a must-do before any long drive. You don't want to forget that one.
And there's some nice conversational bits, like one asks if they've forgotten anything.
And the other says, pretty confidently, I'm sure we've got all our bases covered.
Which is such a great phrase for feeling prepared.
It really is.
Yeah.
And then, the signal to start. Well, let's get going then. Classic.
But what I found kind of funny and relatable is that little bit of humor, they've barely left, maybe 10 minutes.
And someone already needs a pit stop.
Exactly. We've all been there, right? That sudden urge just after you set off.
Yeah, the quintessential road trip moment, which actually leads us nicely into some of those language takeaways.
Right. So munchies first.
Yeah, the source material clarifies this is just informal language for snacks. Things like chips, cookies, chocolate bars.
The stuff you grab for a quick bite on a drive.
Exactly. Good for energy or just enjoyment.
And fill up the tank. Pretty straightforward, but vital.
Yep. Just means put gas or petrol in the car.
Can't go far without doing that.
For sure. Then there's pit stop.
Which, as we saw, can be for the bathroom.
But it's not just that, is it? It's really any quick stop. Could be for gas, maybe grab some food.
Or, yeah, the restroom break, whatever you need, quickly before getting back on the road.
Precisely.
Okay, moving on then to putting phrases together. That one, we've got all our bases covered, is really handy.
It is, isn't it? Because you can use it in so many situations.
Yeah, the source gives examples like getting ready for a hurricane.
Making sure you have everything. Or even just checking you've got your keys, wallet, passport before leaving the house.
Or in a totally different context, like a business setting. Maybe you have a marketing plan you feel is really solid.
Right. It just conveys that feeling of being totally prepared, having thought of everything important.
Yeah, comprehensive preparation.
Then there's let's get going. Simple enough means let's start or let's leave.
But it's how it changes that's interesting.
Exactly. Like think about let's get cooking.
Okay, clearly about starting to make food.
Right. Or let's get out of here. That often has a sense of urgency, doesn't it? Like you want to leave quickly.
Yeah, maybe you're uncomfortable or late.
And let's get down to business.
That signals it's time to be serious, focus on the main task.
It's fascinating how just changing that one word after get shifts the whole meaning and feeling.
It really is.
So,
Now, this next bit is really useful talking about sounding, well, more fluent.
yeah, the source had some great tips here for making your everyday English sound a bit more natural.
Like?
Okay, take a simple question. Are we ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
The suggestion is to add all. So, are we all ready to go? It sounds a little smoother, maybe more inclusive.
Yeah, it does feel a bit more natural, like you're checking in with everyone.
Exactly. And another one, instead of just saying it is ready or it is prepared, which can sound a bit formal or stiff.
Try.
Yep, it's all set.
Okay. All set.
That's more casual. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that relaxed, confident vibe that you hear a lot. These small changes can really make a difference in how you sound.
And maybe how easily you connect with people, too.
Definitely.
Okay, let's make this a bit more real. Talk about some actual travel experiences.
Good idea.
For me, growing up, summer always meant these huge family road trips. We used to drive way up north in Canada.
Oh, wow, long drives.
Days. Literally days on the road. But it was amazing, camping in pretty remote places, setting up the tent, campfires. It was all about the journey.
That sounds incredible. Really different from, say, another common type of road trip. Maybe driving to Vegas with friends.
Oh, totally different. Done that too. That was much more about the fun inside the car, wasn't it?
Yeah, the music, laughing, just talking for hours. Exactly. And looking forward to arriving at, well, a very different kind of destination. It just shows how varied that whole road trip idea can be.
It really does. And both types of trips highlight how important good communication is when you're traveling.
Absolutely. Doesn't matter if you're figuring out a train schedule in a new city or just deciding who gets the front seat.
Huh. Yeah. Clear, friendly communication just makes everything easier.
So, what general advice did our source have on that?
Some really good practical tips, like try to use simpler language if you think there might be a barrier.
Okay, makes sense.
Speak a bit more slowly, clearly, and smile. That goes a long way.
True. And patience.
Definitely patience, especially if things aren't going smoothly or there's a language difference. Just being calm and polite helps a lot.
Good reminders. Okay, let's get super practical now. Hotel check-in. That can be a bit stressful sometimes, can't it?
It can, yeah, if you're not sure what to say. But the material lays it out quite nicely.
So, first step.
Start with a polite greeting. Good morning or hello. Simple. Then state your reservation.
Like, I have a reservation under the name.
Exactly. Under the name Jones or whatever it is.
And then you probably give them the main details.
The room type you booked, how many nights you're staying, the date you're arriving. It's good to just politely confirm that stuff.
And asking questions is important too, right?
For sure. Things like checkout time. Always good to know. What time is checkout, please?
And breakfast. Crucial question.
Absolutely. Is breakfast included? And if it is, what time is it served? Helps you plan your morning.
Okay, now the cheeky one. Asking for an upgrade.
Huh. Well, the source suggests a polite way. Something like, is it possible to get an upgrade today? I would really appreciate it.
Nice and polite, no harm in asking.
Exactly. And it even mentions if you happen to be celebrating something like an anniversary or birthday.
Mention it.
Yeah, gently. You never know your luck.
Good tip. What else should we ask about at check-in?
Hotel services. Like, does the hotel have a gym? Or is there a swimming pool?
And the opening hours for those.
Right. Or maybe, do you offer an airport shuttle service? That could be really useful.
And if you're new to the place, asking for recommendations.
Definitely. Could you recommend any good restaurants nearby? Or any local attractions worth seeing?
Or even just how to get around. What's the best way to get around the city? Bus? Taxi? Is it walkable?
Yeah. Hotel staff are usually great sources of local info.
And if you need directions somewhere specific?
Can you show me on the map how to get to? Always helpful to have visual.
Okay. But sometimes things, well, they go wrong.
It happens. Travel isn't always smooth sailing.
So how does the source suggest handling problems? Like, say, a noisy room?
The key thing is to stay calm and explain clearly. So, for a noisy room, maybe something like, excuse me, I'm having a bit of trouble sleeping because of the noise next door. Would it be possible to move to a quieter room?
Okay, polite but direct. What about if the room isn't clean?
Similar approach. I'm sorry to bother you, but my room doesn't seem quite clean. Could you please send housekeeping up?
Right, or if something's broken, like the air conditioning.
You'd explain the problem, the air conditioning doesn't seem to be working, and then ask for help. Could someone take a look at it? Or perhaps could we move rooms?
The main thing seems to be politeness and respect, even when there's an issue.
Absolutely. Staff are usually much more willing and able to help if you approach them courteously. It really makes a difference.
Makes sense. Beyond hotels, any other general travel phrases that stood out?
Well, the idea of learning just a couple of basic words in the local language.
Like hello and thank you.
Exactly. It shows effort and respect, even if it's just a little bit. Also, always having your documents, handy reservations, passport, ID.
And maybe copies, too. Digital or paper.
Good idea, just in case. Being flexible is another big one.
Yeah, travel plans can change unexpectedly. You got to roll with it sometimes.
And just showing gratitude. Saying thank you often.
Simple, but powerful. Any other specific phrases mentioned?
A couple of really basic but useful ones. Can you help me, please? Always good to know.
Essential, really.
And that breakfast question again. What time is breakfast? Can't overstate the importance of knowing that.
True. Okay, so to help everyone remember all this useful stuff, let's do a quick vocabulary recap. Reinforce those key terms.
Sounds good. Ready to leave.
All ready to go.
Yep. Everything inside the car or suitcase,
That's packed.
those travel snacks.
Munchies.
Putting gas in the car,
To fill up the tank.
something that's prepared, ready.
It's all set.
You've taken care of
You've
everything.
got all the bases covered.
Starting the journey.
Time to get going.
A long car journey itself.
That's a road trip.
A quick stop along the way.
A pit stop.
The luggage space in a car.
Usually the trunk.
Someone in the car who isn't driving.
A passenger.
A big main road.
They're often called a freeway.
A car you hire.
A rental car.
And that fee for using some roads. A highway toll.
Fantastic. That's a really solid list of practical travel English. So wrapping this up, what's the main thing you want people to take away from this deep dive?
I think the key insight is just how much easier and more enjoyable travel can be when you have a handle on these common phrases. It's not about being perfect, but understanding and using them confidently. It really helps.
Yeah, it smooths out interactions, helps you navigate things, just makes the whole experience better.
Definitely. It builds confidence, too.
So maybe as you plan your next trip, you can think about, which of these phrases might open doors or just make things a little nicer along the way.
Exactly. And consider, what new bases will you make sure are covered for your own adventures? Something to think about.
A great final thought. Thanks everyone for joining us for this deep dive.